Dave Simon and his co-hosts are completing the remaining finishing touches for tonight's episode. If you are watching the replay, you can skip to the 4-minute and 54-second mark to get to Dave's intro. While you are waiting, watching live, take a look at the news and articles about pro wrestling and MMA from The Authority, the Ringside Report Network. Our website is at ringsidereport.net. That's ringsidereport.net.
Please wait. Hold on. Keep waiting. Almost done. 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 Subscriber is speaking at the moment. Subscriber is speaking at the moment. Subscriber is speaking at the moment. Please wait. Hold on. Keep waiting. Almost done. 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 Subscriber is speaking at the moment.
Hey, Dave and Johnny, if I am being honest, I was the first one in the entire world to say that Logan Paul is something special.
Subscriber is
Mark my words.
speaking at the moment. Subscriber is speaking at the moment.
Welcome to today's broadcast from the Ringside Report Network. We are a viewer and listener-supported creative team. We would really appreciate it if you became a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. While you are waiting, watching live, take a look at the news and articles about pro wrestling and MMA, and while there, check out our exclusive merch, including great jiu-jitsu gear from the Ringside Report Network. Our website is at ringsidereport.net. It's ringsidereport.net.
Subscriber is speaking at the moment.
Kamaru Usman returns this weekend. We got some news for Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. It's Ringside Report MMA. Let's go.
Let's go!
Indeed. We're here. We're going. We're going to go. Ooh, what the hell is that? That's not AJ. Where's AJ? Hello? What is this? That's not me. Can we get some help here? I hear AJ. What is happening? Nothing is working. Hold on. Let me see if I can get AJ. Nope, that's not AJ.
Sort of.
Something happened there. Well, I know AJ's there somewhere. While we
What's up, homie?
work on that.
Can you hear me at least?
I hear you.
Yeah,
we hear you.
This is even better, man. You don't have to see me. You just got to hear me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like,
bad.
Patrick Swayze in the movie Ghost.
At some
Hey,
point
Dave.
we will see you. Nope, that's not
Hey,
you.
Dave.
That's
Still
a
me too.
weird image of me for some reason. What is that?
And you look like a little stunned there. Look at that picture. It's like you're just about to be diddlered.
I
Hi,
don't know.
P. Diddy. How's the party?
Why is it
Where's
like
the
a
baby roll,
frozen
baby?
image of me? There we go. I think that's me live again. Hey, and AJ.
This is you.
That
Watch.
was
I'll
weird.
show you. This is Dave.
Huh.
Diddy, is that you in the
Yeah.
dark? Diddy, is that you? What you got in your hands there, Diddy?
Take it
What's that,
easy,
baby oil,
AJ.
baby?
Let's relax. Let's not start off with that, please.
The diddler. Diddler's in trouble. But I think it looks like he might get off, man.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that's my vibe on it as well. I think he.
Yeah, me too. I'm
he
getting
may
that vibe
be-
more and more. It's like,
Not to say that
like,
he
yeah.
is innocent of all the charges and anything, but I think there's a possibility that
he's
doesn't
not
go
like
to jail.
Leave It to Beaver kind of thing. I agree with you, man. But
Very rich and famous guys seem to have had more evidence against them and not gone to jail, so I don't know. Oh, uh-oh. Hang on a second.
what happened, bud?
I don't know.
What's going on? The show's gone wild, man.
I got a wild
Johnny when you need him?
animal in here. I got a wild animal. Take it easy. You got to get out of here, you wild animal. You're going to get...
Here, this is. Let me show something for Johnny. While Johnny is, while Dave takes off, Johnny, I got
boy.
as everybody knows, this
That was
weekend
bad.
is a big weekend here in Montreal. Dave, do you see this? Hecko in
Yeah.
Arena, probably.
What is
The
that?
Lamborghini, man, Grand Prix coming up this weekend, man. I'll be with PR Mark. We're going to be visiting a couple places on Saturday night.
What?
Uh-oh, somebody knew I went to Homer's, man. Yeah, Saturday night, man. It's Grand Prix weekend, bud. This is the biggest time in Montreal. This is when people can make money, but I don't know how they're going to get around, man. There's more potholes in Montreal than freaking, like, Afghanistan.
I don't know. You're saying a lot here. Grand Prix weekend
F1
in
Grand
Montreal.
Prix Montreal weekend. Who
There's
doesn't
an
know that,
F1
bud?
race here.
Yeah, Grand Prix.
Uh-huh. And you're going to be going to the race?
Yeah, bud.
You're going to the race.
Well, the Saturday race, not the big race on Sunday. I mean, unless somebody wants to give me some tickets. I mean, it'd be nice. But isn't it Father's Day on Sunday, too?
Yeah, Father's Day is Sunday. That I am aware of. I'm less aware. Like, I know vaguely that the
You're not-
F1 is here this weekend in our
Bro.
city, but I am not really... Like, it's not my thing.
Listen,
it's not really
when-
my kind of
let me give
scene.
you a
I don't
breakdown.
really like it. I'm not going to say
What are you
anything
talking about?
positive about
Amazing.
it, so I try to not talk about it.
Listen, man, F1, when it comes to Montreal, it's the biggest ticket of the year. And we'll be lucky to have it maybe for the years to come. I mean, it was on the brink of being like extinct here in Montreal. Last year was a bit of a fiasco with like I'm sure you remember the whole fiascos with restaurants and the police coming in and raiding places because they didn't have proper, I don't know, papers, businesses that have been in existence for like decades. It was a
Yeah,
fiasco.
I don't care.
All I have to say is,
I fucking
But
don't
I do care,
about
bud.
the F1, man.
I do, man. It's F1, man.
Ugh,
It's Ferrari
dude,
time.
I really don't. Give me WrestleMania instead. Give me something good. Give me something I like. Give me a baseball team. I couldn't care less about the F1. It's just like, blech. The type of crowd that it brings in, the vibe,
What are you
it's
talking about?
really gross.
What?
I don't like it.
Damn, bud.
Yeah, I really don't like it. I'm against it. Like, I'll avoid it because it's really nothing I want to be around. It's really gross.
Johnny, you're right. At least you get the subway because of the F1 coming in. Because on top of it all, there's a big strike here in Montreal with the STM, which is our bus
I mean, don't get
and
me started, AJ.
Metro service.
Don't get me started.
Well, at least you got Metro tomorrow because of the F1, man. You know, you should be thanking
Yeah,
them
sure.
now.
They don't actually care about the citizens of the city. For them, there's no public transit. But, when there's a car race in town with a bunch of Europeans
Right.
showing up, then there's public transit to get them from Peel to McGill. What? Or they need to get to
Important, bud.
whatever, the race via Metro. So it's just so offensive.
I guess you're not a big fan of like racing, man.
No.
Okay, but I
No.
wouldn't have known it. You didn't give any vibe of that, but I guess I'm
No.
wrong.
They're not real athletes either.
What? What are you talking about? Are you
They're
kidding
not
me?
real athletes. They drive cars.
Yeah, big time, man. You know,
They drive cars.
Dude, that's the only sport where you walk in, and when you take off at the starting gate or the starting point, like you might not even
It's
finish the
dumb.
race. You could die, man.
It's dumb. I remember when Larry Walker had an incredible season, and and then Jacques Villeneuve won F1 things, and there was a Canadian Athlete of the Year award, and they gave it to Jacques Villeneuve, and Larry Walker said, "I lost to a car," and I was like, "Yeah, right on, exactly." What
Yeah,
Larry
well,
Walker
that's-
did was
I
far
can
more
see why
impressive
you're
than
angry,
anything
man.
Jacques Villeneuve ever did.
Yeah, but let's not forget. Hold on a sec, Dave. Let me debate you on
I'll
one
take
thing.
Larry
I love
Walker
Larry.
over Jacques
Listen,
Villeneuve any
no,
day.
no. I'm going to tell you something. Not that Villeneuve was any better. That pint size like
Big
Yoda.
time jabroni.
Like, you know what? I met both of these guys. And I can tell you both. You know, they both got me angry. And I love Larry Walker, one of the greatest baseball players in Canadian baseball with the Montreal Expos. He was like the top. But the thing that pissed me off the most about Larry Walker is that when he didn't renegotiate his contract, one of the biggest things that pissed him off is that the Expos were not going to pay for his vitamins for the year.
All right.
Like, are you serious?
That's such old news.
Let's not
bro.
forget that, Dave. I don't give
We're
a shit, man.
rehashing
That's
beefs
real,
from
bud.
1991. I think it's
Yes.
great. No,
And
that's
I
fine.
heckled him, man. I heckled him to the point that he came up to me and he told the dugout to stop, it's a true story. Yes, I did get upset. He was playing for the Mariners, I think, at that point. Where did he go after the Expos?
Seattle.
Seattle, that's right, the Mariners.
Colorado. Sorry, he played for the Rockies.
Colorado Rockies, exactly. So he was playing against so when he came out, I started heckling him so bad, dude. The mistake for everybody was, I'm going to just say that Guess Jeans was involved, and they gave me a ticket all the way right at home plate. I was right there, and then I started with the vitamins thing. And Larry
Guess
Walker was
Jeans.
he was going up.
Guess Jeans was
Yeah,
big
bud.
sponsor for the Expos. They were
Yeah, so
like
they made
the
a
main
mistake by
sponsor
putting
for the
AJ in
team.
the front. Listen, I was right in front. I wish there was viral videos at the time, but I got up there, man. And I'm like, you know what, Larry, you're a piece of shit. And he's up the bat. I said, vitamins, you're leaving us for vitamins. I said, what kind of a pussy are you, bud? I
Wow.
can't believe it. I'm so
All right.
disgusted. So I was heckling him so much. So he went to the dugout, and then things got bad for AJ. You know, I mean, I still stayed in the game after a lot of
Stayed in the game.
talks. Well, I stayed there. I mean, they wanted to take me out. I mean, come on, man. Who walks away from a team because of vitamins? And
Wow.
going back to the Jacques Villeneuve guy, not that he's any better. Those two guys are not the greatest representative of Canadian sports in my opinion. Maybe Larry
No.
Walker more of an edge. Because Jacques Villeneuve, man, that guy there, I wanted to punt him like a football once.
I'll tell you, there's one guy who's a great representative of Canadian sports, and
Wayne
that
Gretzky,
um,
Mario Lemieux, Jean St. Pierre,
I was gonna say Brock Lesnar.
Amos Zahabi.
Brock Lesnar, he's Canadian.
Is he? Is he
Mm.
really?
You remember when he
He's half.
represented Canada in the UFC because he lived in Saskatchewan and he
Well,
had
he still
the
lives there.
had the Canadian flag on his UFC walkout shirt. When he fought Mark Hunt, his flag was Canada.
You know, in a way, bud, you might have a point there.
Brock Lesnar.
You might have
Any
a point.
American that adopts Canada as like his new home country is pretty sweet. I like an American to Canada convert. I think that's pretty nice. It doesn't happen very often. Especially a guy like
You know
Brock.
what? Well, Brock, I mean, are you going to
You know?
say no, you're not Canadian? Like, let's be honest. Like, he can
I know
be whatever
he's
he wants
was
to be,
born
man.
in like North Dakota or whatever, but he's technically
Yeah, he's born in the Dakotas.
in my opinion, he's Canadian. I'm taking him in. Brock Lesnar, baby.
I'm taking him in too, man. I agree with
let's
you.
take him.
But
He's
okay,
great.
We could agree on that.
I mean, I don't know if he's great as a guy, but you know, there's some
Well,
controversies.
apparently, he's supposed to be. Is there?
Yeah, there's some
I heard some good
controversies,
things
AJ.
about
There's
him.
reasons why he's not in WWE anymore. I don't have to
Well,
go
what
into
is it for vitamins? Like he was like upset about vitamins? No.
No,
Like Larry Walker?
You don't know about this? He was kind of involved in
No.
the whole Vince thing. Yeah, his name was involved in some things that he was doing with Vince.
You think that was true?
Well,
don't see Brock doing
wrestling
that.
fans think it was true because nobody seems to want him around, and WWE hasn't had him at all. And there have been opportunities for Brock to show up, and he has not shown up. So I think, you know, they're kind of maybe waiting for it to all blow over, or they're just done with him. I know he said at one point like he's retired from wrestling, but come on. He could come
it
back.
makes sense. How old is he now? Like, how old is he? He's in
he
his
could
40s
easily
something?
come back. He's not that old, and when he comes
I
back,
guess.
he
I
just
mean,
beats
when you
people
start
up.
seeing like John Cena coming in and all that kind of stuff, like, you know, Toupee Cena. I mean,
Apparently
come on.
Goldberg's
let's be
going to be
honest.
on Raw next week. He's super old.
That's what I heard, man.
yeah.
Goldberg, I could live with.
I
Talk about Goldberg.
don't. Bill
Dave,
Goldberg
you know what this is?
is a piece of crap who kicked Bret Hart in the head and ended his career. Bill
He deserved
Goldberg.
it. Listen,
Garbage.
that's a great Canadian hero right there, Bret
Yeah,
Hart.
you want to talk about
Johnny
great
North,
Canadian athletes? Bret Hart is the greatest Canadian athlete ever. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Bret Hart by far. As far as like a man that you can trust in and like a real great Canadian, stands for Canada, Bret the Hitman Hart, brother. Nobody better. And
Except
he's
Wayne
beloved.
Gretzky.
Still beloved by all Canadians throughout the country. Everybody loves the Hitman.
Oh, wait, I have another one. What? Oh, no, sorry, forget it. I thought Gary Carter was Canadian, but I'm not sure.
Bret is good. You know?
Was Gary
Bret's-
Carter Canadian?
Bret's not political either. You know, he's just like perfect. He's just this perfect icon. Gary
Did you
Carter
hear
was
what I
not
said?
Canadian.
He wasn't. Okay.
No, he just played for the Expos.
I'll take that black. Yeah. I always thought for some reason he was Canadian.
Yeah, that would have been nice. He was not Canadian, though. He was American. He was born in America. Just like Dana White. You know, Dana White is American. And Jon Jones, also American. Tom Aspinall, British. What's that about? So those people
Vote to the
exist,
Queen.
and they like to fight. And
Not
Tom
anymore.
Aspinall is kind of the heavyweight champion of the UFC. Not really, but like kind of. He's like co-champion with Jon Jones, right? What do they call it? Interim champion? I'm going to call
Interim.
it co-champion. I think he should be co-champion. Him and Jones are both champion of the heavyweight division, just different parts of it. Jones is the champion of, like, you know, the guys that
people.
are big-time stars and, like, you know, just kind of in name because it's cool because it's Jon Jones in the UFC. But, like, Tom Aspinall is the guy who has to go and defend against the guys, you know? Tom Aspinall is like the heavyweight champion who has to go defend things. Jon Jones is the heavyweight champion kind of like in name only. He's on Twitter talking about how Tom Aspinall sucks. I know he doesn't deserve to fight him.
Ooh.
He, you know, he just kind of hangs out and like acts like a champion, and the UFC kind of says he's the champion, but he doesn't actually have the fights to be the champion. He's just like, you know, it's in name only. And Aspinall is the guy who has to go and like do the fights, you know? Jon Jones is the champion, but he doesn't have to do the fights. I like that. I like that system that they have. I just wish Tom Aspinall would hold up his end of the bargain and do the fights. Like, he's not doing any of the fights. Keeps saying, like, oh, no, I want to fight Jon Jones. Bro, that's not the deal. You're co-champions.
But
You have to do the fights. He just, like, Jon Jones it up. Don't
But
you
isn't
get
he
it,
fighting
bro?
Cyril Gane
Is
in
he, though?
November?
Is he?
I think so. I think they put out like, let's just check this out, man.
Dude, it's not.
I think
they
it is,
haven't
bud.
made that official. There's just talk.
I was so sure that it's getting or done deal, man.
Nope.
Almost
I mean,
done,
maybe you
almost
have
done.
new information.
No, it
but-
hasn't been official, but it's
Nah.
almost done.
Well, what's the date? Do you even have a date?
I heard sometime in November, but look,
Well,
I mean, we'll see.
let's.
Au revoir.
You
Au
want
revoir,
to see Dana White talking about Jon Jones?
Yeah, is it something good at least?
No, it's a bad clip, AJ, and that's why I want to show it to you because it's no good. I want to show it to you because it
Mhm.
sucks.
Now I want to see it.
Okay. I don't know why that makes you want to see it, but ooh, it's just
Here it
me.
is.
Here we go.
Angry,
me and Dana.
angry,
we'll
angry cat. Angry
we'll talk
cat.
you through it.
Come on, Dana, speak. Don't be shy.
Jon's been tweeting a lot about the fact that he's told you his plans, he's ready to vacate the belt, and all the rest of it.
He said he's ready to vacate the
He
belt.
said he doesn't care if you strip him, he would vacate it.
Fucking crazy. Yeah, I've been busy. I haven't been keeping up with the gossip. He comes back. He's either back today or came back yesterday or whenever he's in.
Sorry, hang on. That's a total lie. If Jon Jones says he's ready to vacate the belt, you don't think somebody tells that to Dana White? You don't think he's aware? He hasn't been keeping up with the gossip? Listen to that.
I don't know, man. Sounds real.
Dude, it's bullshit.
I've been busy. I haven't been.
I've been
keeping up
busy.
With the gossip.
He's
comes
aware.
Back. He's either back today or came back yesterday or whenever he's in Thailand. So he's home. We'll be home tonight and Tuesday. We'll figure this out.
If he doesn't fight,
What?
fight,
I mean, it sounds like there's
He
some
said he'd
truth
rather
in the
fight
way
Francis,
Dana's saying
which I
it.
see.
Who did?
John.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jon Jones said he wanted to fight Francis Ngannou, and Dana just kind of laughs it off, like, yeah, okay.
Well, that was going on Instagram. On Twitter. You know, like he was saying that he wanted to fight Francis, and Francis wanted to fight him. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that fight? Let's be honest.
Doesn't fight Tom Aspinall, and he does walk away. Do you think he's ducked him? Would you?
Tom Aspinall's the guy. He's the guy. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see how this plays. Listen, if the guy wants to retire and doesn't want to fight, nothing you do. I didn't want Habib to retire. I thought DC should have stayed in it longer. So it's none of my business. I'll do what I can to make the fight if we can. If he's talking that crazy shit, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that?
I don't know, man.
How did he
Sounds
not
like
realize that? How does Dana White not realize something that I've been saying since Jon Jones last November when Jon Jones fought Stipe? Dana didn't realize that Jon Jones might retire? He didn't realize that? As a guy who's negotiating what? What are you talking about, dude? Oh, he's talking about retirement? Wow, I didn't realize that. Huh? You should watch Ringside Report MMA. What are you talking about, Dana? You didn't realize that he might retire? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. The smoke screen he's trying to put out there is bananas. I've got more, too. There's more of this. This is from, by the way, the UFC 316 post-fight press conference that happened after UFC
Sounds rough, by the way.
316.
What
Yeah,
are
he
cigars
sounds
there?
tired as hell.
Cigars.
Here's another clip.
Whiskey. There we go.
He's there, and he will keep racking them up, I'm sure.
Oh, who's this?
Umar rematch is interesting.
Oh, now he's talking about Marab. Sorry, I give you the wrong clip.
That's
Whoops.
okay. I like to hear that.
Yeah,
That's all right,
he's talking
bud.
about Umar, but he's saying that Corey Sanhagen is next for Marab, by the
Which
way.
makes
Corey-
sense. I mean, it's
Yeah,
only
yeah, yeah,
deserving
yeah. It's
for
his
Corey,
fight.
right?
That's the fight. Corey Sanhagen has got to be the next for Marab. We'll
Yeah.
talk about Marab in a bit. Marab was unbelievable. I'm still processing
love
how
Morrell.
good he was.
Yeah, it's Aspinall's fight. I mean, we've been talking to this kid forever about it, and it's his fight. Listen, you can't make people fight. If Jon doesn't want to fight, can't make him fight. We can try to make him fight. We can throw things at him that inspire him
Yeah, like lots
to
of
want to
dollars.
fight, but we'll figure it out.
Send them some Benjamins, Dana. Send them some Benjamins. You'll see how fast
Well,
he gets there.
I mean,
Let's be honest, man.
people
Not
are
like $1
reporting.
million.
Ariel Helwani was reporting that the UFC offered Jon Jones like a ton of money, and then he said he'd fight Tom Aspinall for a certain amount of money, and then the UFC
was
said,
that?
okay, we will give you that money, and then Jon Jones is like, nah, actually, I don't want to do it. That's what Helwani is
was that?
saying, and that's
But
kind
what's
of
the
what.
number?
I mean, the rumor is 15 million, but like, who knows? The number is not clear. Like, there's no actual number right now. It's just like, what are we thinking here? What's going on?
I mean, look, if it is $15 million plus, like, if that's just his fight purse and he gets some like points on the pay-per-view, I mean, there's no reason why Jon Jones wouldn't take it, win or lose. I mean, he wins, greatest fighter in history to date. If he loses, he's gonna walk away, man, with like truckloads of money, man. Like, it's a win-win for him no matter what.
What's that?
What's up, Dad?
Like, in your gut, do you think
What
that
was
fight
that?
will ultimately end up happening?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it since the beginning, and Jon Jones agreed to do the fight. So Jon Jones was offered the deal and accepted the deal.
He did, eh?
He agreed to do the fight. Tom Aspinall obviously wants to do the fight. UFC obviously wants to do the fight. So, what's the hold
What's
up?
the problem?
Because Jon
Yeah,
Jones
what's the
went.
problem?
Jon Jones said, "Yeah, actually, no." That's what happened. The UFC made an offer. Jon Jones is like, "Yeah, that sounds about right." And then he went back and he thought about it, and he was like,
Ooh.
"Yeah, actually, I changed my mind. I don't want to do it," which is in his right to do. Like, you can do that, right? You're allowed to do that. Do you think that's bad? People are getting on Jon Jones about this. People are like, "Oh, he accepted the fight and then he turned it down," or he said he wanted this money and then they offered it to him and then he's like, "Oh no, actually I don't want to do it." So he's scared or he's a jerk for breaking his word or whatever. And like, as far as I know, like, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to accept something and then go, "Actually, I thought about it. I slept on it. I actually don't want to do this. The money is pretty good, but it's just not worth it for me." Like, he's allowed to do that.
Yeah,
He's
but
also
you can't
allowed
say
to think on it as a business move and go, "Yeah, if Aspinall wins a couple more fights, I could probably get them up to 20, 25 mil, and I'm willing to wait a year or two for that."
No, man, you can't do that, Dave. Let's be honest, man. He's
Why
not like
not?
a spring chicken.
Why
he's not,
not?
a spring chicken anymore, man.
Bro,
Let's be
he's
honest.
like 37,
listen,
38. What? He's not
listen,
even.
all he has to do. Listen, all he
He's
has to do
good.
is one more thing. Listen, all he has to do is one more crazy thing outside of the octagon. Shoot some homeless guy, rob some pregnant lady. There goes the mic. But what I'm
Yeah,
trying
but
to
he
say is,
assumes he's not
he
going to
does
do
one
that.
of those things. You
AJ,
don't know that.
But
I don't
even if
thi-
he
I don't
does,
expect
the
him to do
UFC
that.
will still pay him stupid money to fight. You
Not
know this.
really.
They've done it
I don't
before.
think so, man.
What? He's done all those
Yeah,
things before, and they kept paying
Yeah,
him
but
to
he's the
fight. They're
hottest
offering him 15 mil to fight Tom Aspinall. So obviously, none of those things stick in UFC land. What?
Yes, because he's still relevant now and he's winning fights at heavyweight, light
Yeah.
heavyweight. The guy is the best of the best at this point. You take it now. You wait a couple of years, he could get injured. Anything could happen.
Dude.
You know,
But like you
You
said,
just don't
he's the
know.
best of the best. He stays winning. Okay? He's still the greatest of all time. And like, if you lose the fight to Tom Aspinall, then all your bargaining power goes away. So why not wait, make it more valuable of a fight? Like, do you think that Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones is a bigger fight now or it was or 2 years ago? I think now you could make more money doing it. It's just bigger. The more time
Wait,
passes.
you're talking about Ngannou?
Yeah.
No, bud, not at all.
I
Because
think
Ngannou
Ngannou
right
Jones
now,
would still be a mega fight.
listen,
Probably bigger
to us,
now because of what Ngannou has
not
done in
really.
boxing. Like, he's a bigger star.
Yes and no, but the thing is that
I would say yes.
he went into
He
boxing.
fought Tyson Fury and that other guy that knocked him out.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
You know?
right. But
Come
the
on,
thing
man.
is that it's still not enough. He's not relevant in the sport of MMA. In boxing, he was a
Pardon?
hot ticket, and he's a cold ticket now.
He's not relevant
Well, he's not
in
fighting,
the sport
bud.
of MMA.
He's not fighting.
Francis
and that's the problem.
Ngannou's not relevant in the sport of MMA.
He
He is the
is.
lineal champion of the
He is
UFC.
in a sense.
He is the heavyweight champion.
He is, but he hasn't fought in how many years in the UFC now? The problem is that most fight fans that are watching it now are gonna have to think, oh, Francis Ngannou, oh, it was that guy back then. That's the thing. You want to be hot, you got to be hot now when you're fighting. Like Merab is hot. O'Malley's hot, even though he lost and took a beating. You know what I'm saying? These guys are relevant because they're fighting. And Ngannou would have to come in, not even fight the heavyweight champion, fight a Cyril Gane, fight an Aspinall, smash them, and then we're talking bigger numbers. He has to come back into the UFC, smash the number 1, 2, 3 guy on the heavyweight division, and then he becomes hot again. And people know who he is because a lot of people will forget and have forgotten. You know, and a lot of people don't know who he is because they haven't seen him in how many years, Dave? How long has he been gone out of the UFC now?
Come on.
How many years now? 5?
Come on.
Bro, 5 years, man.
What's happening?
You know? Am I right, Dave, or not?
I mean, he fought in PFL not that long ago.
I'm talking UFC. PFL,
Holy
let's see, Ngannou's last fight. Ngannou, UFC.
Yeah, UFC was a while ago, but who cares about that, AJ? That's not the point. The point isn't the goddamn. The point is he's still relevant.
Bro.
He's still a major star. Anyways, that's not. I don't care anymore. It's whatever. But
Look, I'd want to see that fight.
What's going on here?
What
I don't know.
happened?
They're
We're getting
fiddling
bait?
with my colors and like they made it was better before. This is like weird alien stuff. I
getting
don't know what's
Diddler,
happening.
man.
You had it down and now you fiddled with
Oh,
it and it's like
Spaceballs.
alienish. What's
Johnny,
going on?
Spaceballs was one of the greatest movies ever. Spaceballs, original, numero uno, man. I love Spaceballs.
All right. Well,
I would have loved to have been in the Spaceballs 2 movie.
I've
Hell
never
yeah, man.
seen that.
What? I'm still in shock from Thursday. You haven't seen The Karate Kid, you haven't seen Rocky, and now you haven't seen Spaceballs?
No.
Damn. Have you seen Blazing Saddles?
No.
Oh my God, Dave. Lord help us.
Oh my God. What are you gonna do? Have you seen No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, of course. Who hasn't seen that? But I'm talking about the classics, man.
I don't know. That's a classic.
Like Spaceballs is a classic. Blazing Saddles, man. Awesome. I'm sure Johnny and all the rest have seen it.
Like it's super.
Hey, what's
weird.
happening over there? Are you like?
I don't know.
Are you in like a Ben Soleil? You know when they go for a tanning salon?
Yeah, I
like
don't
that?
know.
Are
It
you
was like good before, and then something happened. Yeah, it's better
Ooh, now
like
you
that.
look a little gray. It's like you need some vitamins now, man.
Yeah, there you
Now
go.
you're getting a
There we
little
go.
dark.
There we go. We're good
Now
here.
You look a little dark, man. Iron, man.
I don't know. It was like all
Iron.
washed out before. I was like too bright. I looked like there was like an alien light shining down on me. It was crazy. I look over at the monitor. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I was looking a little better before. Now I look a little crazy. It was way too bright. I think it was like too dark or something, and then they were like trying to adjust to make it brighter, and then it got too bright. It was just crazy.
Is this like the new way to do like hair and makeup? Like, you know, change like the grades?
God damn.
50,
we don't have that.
50 shades of gray, man, right here.
We're not
at
that
Ringside.
we're not that big a production. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but it's not you know. Anyhow, look, you know, whatever happens with this Jon Jones thing, I don't think the Aspinall fight happens now. I think, you know, like I've been saying, Aspinall should just figure it out. The UFC should figure it out and tell Jon Jones he's stripped of the belt. He's not going to fight Aspinall. and give Aspinall a fight for the, undisputed title, or make him the undisputed champion. And then,
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I like there's it's a conundrum there because if you strip Jon Jones, he might never come back to the UFC. He'd be like, fuck it. But if you put it as an interim champion,
no, I don't think he
he's still the
would. Jon
champion.
Jones has said that it's fine.
Yeah.
Strip me. I don't care. He doesn't
Yeah,
care.
that's what he says. Ooh. I think the fight that's gonna happen this year is gonna be that Cyril Gane and Aspinall fight. Whoever wins that, I mean, it's gonna be a hurrah goodbye party for Jon Jones in 2026, maybe next year in April, and that's it. I don't think it's gonna happen this year. That's for sure.
No.
If apparently that fight is gonna happen in November,
maybe Aspinall fights
Aspinall.
Cyril Gane and then Volkov or somebody. And then he fights Jon Jones next year, something like that. 2 years from now, year and a half,
gonna be
whatever.
Like 39? What is he going to be, 39?
So?
Dude, come on, man. We have Usman fighting on Saturday. He's 38 years old.
Yeah, but
we know what happens.
no, but who cares?
You know?
No, but that's the thing. If it's his last fight anyways, so he loses. So he takes an L.
That's what I'm saying.
And he makes like $25 million. He makes more money at that point, loses or wins because he is Jon Jones. Like, this is the thing, AJ. You always doubt Jon Jones. You have picked against him so much. And every time you've been wrong, obviously, because he's undefeated. So, your stance on this is a little shaky. Like,
no, I didn't take him against Stipe. I know he was going to smash Stipe.
Yeah, of course, everybody took him against Stipe, but you also took him against Gustafsson the second time. You took, you took Gustafsson against Jones the second fight there, which was nuts, and he smashed Gustafsson. Who else did you pick against Jon Jones? Cyril Gane, obviously, you said was going to beat Jon Jones. So many guys over the years you have said would beat Jon Jones, and one by one, they have all fallen to the greatest of all time. And I think that Tom Aspinall also could. And everybody's like, oh, Aspinall's different. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, that means he's a better grappler than Jon Jones. Like, I don't think it does. There's a lot of black belts. Black belt in jiu-jitsu is cool. Like, you're good. If you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, usually you're pretty good at jiu-jitsu, But does that mean you're a better overall MMA grappler than Jon Jones? I would say probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
I think there are
but
very
Jones is what,
few.
a brown belt now in jiu-jitsu?
I think there are very few grapplers that are better at MMA grappling than Jon Jones. Like, Daniel Cormier is an Olympic-level wrestler that got out-wrestled in the octagon by Jon Jones. Jon Jones took him down. So, Tom Aspinall, he didn't win ADCC. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a Daniel Cormier-level grappler in jiu-jitsu like Daniel Cormier was in wrestling. And look what Jon Jones did to DC. I don't know. Like, the jiu-jitsu black belt of Tom Aspinall that everybody points to as like, oh, well, when Jon takes him down, it won't be that easy. I go, yeah, it might be, though. Because, I've seen jiu-jitsu black belts go up against other jiu-jitsu black belts and get destroyed, tapped real quick. Because there's levels to even the black belt level.
Tom Aspinall, 6'5" Tom Aspinall to a 5'10", Cormier. I mean, it's going to be a different game when it comes to the takedown or the takedown defense and whatnot. Tom Aspinall is fantastic on the ground. Let's be honest. It's going to be a challenge more for Jones against Aspinall than it was against Cormier. And I agree with you. Cormier was an Olympic level wrestler, but he got out wrestled by sort of Jon Jones. But there could have been controversy on that too. Like Cormier said, blow can help you do a lot of things. I'm just saying, Dave.
Cormier is still salty, but it is what it is. We all saw what
he's salty, man. I'm going to carry it for Cormier, man.
Yeah.
I love Cormier.
Still hates Jon Jones. It's very funny. And Jones seems like he kind of wants to be friendly at this point, and DC is just not having it. It's pretty good. It's real forever for Daniel Cormier. He hates Jon Jones so much. It's very obvious.
Well, he feels he got cheated, right? So
Yeah,
you have a loss, but you feel like it
didn't
wasn't
get
a
cheated.
legitimate loss. So
He
I'd be salty
lost.
too.
If I were
yes, he
Daniel
did.
Cormier, I'd probably feel the same way. But like looking at it objectively, I don't think he got cheated.
That's up for debate, bud. I'd love to see those two guys go at it. We should get them on our podcast and go like Jones versus Cormier,
Patrick C. Hamilton
MMA
dropping. He's been a member now for 54 months. Thank you, Patrick, for supporting the
Wow.
Ringside Report Network
Patrick,
out in
thank you,
Regina,
man.
Saskatchewan. Great guy.
Saskatchewan,
We appreciate
man.
your
Over
support.
the green.
He says Dana is not 100% wrong. If you would, Patrick, I'd like you to elaborate a little bit on that. About what? Like, what do you mean? Dana's not 100% wrong about his stance
knowing
on
that-
Jon Jones, about what
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, he wants Jon Jones to fight Tom Aspinall. He's not wrong about that. Tom Aspinall's his interim champion. Jon Jones is the heavyweight champion. The logical thing as a promoter would be to make them fight. So that's what he's trying to do. They're trying to offer Jon Jones a bunch of money. Jon Jones doesn't seem interested in it. Like, they offered him Tom Aspinall, the rumors $15 million. He said yes, and then he said, actually, no. And that's kind of where we're at. Dana's not wrong to want to make that fight. Patrick says he's not wrong about people retiring too early. Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been nice to see Khabib fight a few more times. I think he retired a little early. Daniel Cormier, though, I think he retired at the right time. I wasn't really mad when DC retired, and I wouldn't be mad if Jon Jones retired right now. Like, he's done enough. He's kind of old. Like, AJ, you keep saying how old he is, and then you're like, make him fight. Like, what do you want? Like, you just want him to lose. You're like, every time, like, you know what I mean? And this is kind of what I'm seeing a lot in MMA. Like, you're not the only one here, AJ. But if
No,
you
I don't
really
wanna
break
see him
down what
lose,
you're
bud.
saying, you're like, he can't beat Aspinall. Look how old he is. He's old. He's da-da-da. And then I'm like, okay, so maybe he should retire. And you're like, no, he should fight. I'm like, but I thought he's so old that he'll lose. So what do you really want to see?
I'm not saying that.
People
look,
just
I'm not
want to
saying
see
that he-
Jon Jones fall. I think they just want to see him lose because it would be crazy to see Jon Jones lose because for over a decade we've seen nothing but victory. But I kind of like when guys can go out on top, and he's done it for so long and pushed it so far beyond what he should have been capable of. Like, Jon Jones should have lost when he was like 30. When Jon Jones turned like 30
Wow.
because of all the cocaine and all the partying and the lack of training, you know, he was champion when he was like, what, 26 or something?
Yeah, he was
You know?
young, man.
Like, he was very young.
Look-
It should have, like, he should have burned out and faded away a long time ago. The fact that he didn't is nuts. The fact that he stayed around and kept winning and kept defending the light heavyweight title is nuts. There were some kind of little breaks and suspensions and trouble, of course, but he stayed around and kept winning. The fact that he kept winning is so crazy considering all the other stuff that was going on. He kept winning.
But
Like,
it's the
nuts
controversy
how
about it.
You haven't been able to get rid of this guy. He should have been gone a long time ago. A guy like that doesn't usually last this long. But he just
Look, I agree with you.
he stayed around.
but-
It's crazy how long he stayed, and it's a testament to how good he really is. It's
Yeah, but like I said,
it's really
it's
amazing.
questionable.
And at this
It's like
point, I kind of
Mayweather.
want to go. Hold on, AJ. But at this
Yeah,
point,
go.
you know, because there was those 3 years where he was off, and then he came back at heavyweight, and you go, God damn, like, how far can you push this thing? Now he's over 35. He's coming back at heavyweight. He looks different. Like, he's fighting Cyril Gane, who's really legit, who just took Ngannou to the limit. Like, this is a tough fight. And then he just obliterates Gane, and you go,
Well,
like,
look, there was a
at
mistake
that
by
point,
Gane. I mean,
at that point, if he retired, I think people would have been like, yeah, greatest ever. But then he wanted to fight like one of the greatest UFC heavyweight champions ever in Stipe Miocic, and he did that, and people got mad because Aspinall
no hips
was there.
like Miocic. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
That was an easy fight for him. I mean, the guy couldn't even walk anymore.
But if Jones doesn't get hurt, and that fight happens like a year before, like it was supposed to, right? Because Jones suffered an injury and the fight got pushed, okay? If the fight doesn't get pushed and it's a year prior, people are not calling for Aspinall at that point. Aspinall's not really a big thought. He's not interim champion. He's just a contender. So only a year later, because Jon Jones got hurt, are now people calling for Aspinall instead of Stipe, and people are mad that Jones is fighting Stipe. But just the fact that he's gone so far, that he's pushed it to this point, makes me go, yo, you've won. Leave the casino. Because MMA, the MMA fighter experience is a lot like being at the casino, because most of the time you go in and you just get beat. And then you leave and you're done. But sometimes you go in and you win and you're on a hot streak and you're winning and you're winning and you're winning.
Yeah,
but you got to know at a certain point, I have to leave with my money before they take it all away from me. And MMA fighters, just like most gamblers, stay in that casino a little too long, and it costs them everything. So why can't we tell Jones, yo, leave Vegas, dude? Vegas is not for you. We know this. You got to get out of Las Vegas. Right? That's where he had that thing with his wife, and Vegas is not a good place for Jon Jones.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah. Well, pretty much everywhere.
He just, he's got to get out. Good. He's got to never go back to Vegas. He's got to leave the casino, because so few guys do that. I kind of like it when guys can do it. And Khabib, I think he retired prematurely. He hadn't had the accomplishments. He was still in his early 30s. He was under 35. I don't think if you're on a hot streak, you should leave if you're under 35. You ride that thing until you hit 35. If you're still fighting over 35 and you're winning, you know you're on borrowed time. And at a certain point, you got to go, okay, I'm good. But many guys just go, I'm going to keep rolling. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to win. And then you lose, and then you chase it. And that's what gamblers do, too. They chase it. They lose, and then they double down to try and get that money back. And how does that work out? You lose that, and then you lose that, and then you go on a losing streak, and then your brain is scrambled, and you're unrecognizable to your family and friends. Don't
talking about Anderson
don't
Silva.
do it, man. You're on borrowed time, Jon Jones. You've done so much. I just have seen MMA fighters for too long, and I know how long he's been fighting, and I go, I mean, you were champion when Frankie Edgar and Anderson Silva was champion. You can't still be fighting. It's stupid. What are you doing? Jon Jones, I remember seeing him at a press conference, okay? And it was all the UFC champions at the time sitting on one stage. Okay, it was Jon Jones, George St. Pierre, Cain Velasquez was a heavyweight champion, GSP was a welterweight champion, Anderson Silva was the middleweight champion, Frankie Edgar was 155, and Jose Aldo was 145. Okay, most of those guys are retired now. Jon Jones is somehow still a champion in the UFC. Aren't they all retired now?
Aldo did retire. Yeah,
they're all retired. They're literally all retired. Frankie's retired. Anderson's retired from MMA at least. GSP retired from MMA. Cain Velasquez retired from MMA. Jose Aldo retired. They're all retired, and Jon Jones is still fighting. And people go, fight Tom Aspinall. Bro, this is 2009, 2010 I'm talking about.
But
this is so long ago, man.
There's a couple of reasons for that, and I just want to go back to one thing. I saw a comment come in from Simon Feck. He said that he spoke to Daniel personally, that he had a bad back, and that's absolutely true. Daniel had back issues, and that's what kind of took him away. And again, there's that controversy behind that for me with the Jon Jones, and that's why a lot of people are kind of haters because of his octagon wins. That's somewhat controversial, and his outside shenanigans that he's done. So you've got those haters. I don't hate Jon Jones per se, but I think that there's a couple of fights where I'm like, man, he kind of like, screwed the opponent. And one of them is Daniel Cormier. I love Daniel Cormier. Like, I think one of the best fighters, and I guess the greatest ambassador in the UFC for me. But I feel he got screwed. I mean, there were certain things. But going back to Jon Jones, right now, because he's still heavyweight champion and he's still relevant and he's still like an old dog legend that's still there. And you're right about one thing. I don't want to go back and forth, but Anderson Silva is exactly what you said about that gambler that keeps going and gets hit so many times that you can't recognize him anymore. Anderson Silva should have stepped away. I believe, man, all the way back to the Pat Cote fight. Right after that Pat Cote fight, I saw a different Anderson Silva.
Bro.
A different Anderson Silva. And I
Put
saw
it this way with Anderson, right?
Yeah,
he nowadays
black all the time.
People nowadays, because of the losses, they don't talk about him as one of the greatest of all time. But we know, having lived through the Anderson era, that he absolutely is. If not, he may be the greatest fighter I've ever seen. Like, at his best, I think he's probably the best I've ever seen. Anderson Silva? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at one point he was untouchable.
When he was middleweight champion, when he was on that run, he was untouchable. He was like Fedor, Fedor Pride, Fedor, Anderson, middleweight champion UFC, was like magical. He was maybe the best fighter I've ever seen. And, people don't think about him in that way because of the way he went out. People still talk about GSP and Khabib as the greatest of all time. Why? Because they never saw them lose. I mean, George, we saw him lose, but he came back and beat those guys' asses afterwards, right? But
Sarah, yeah, for sure.
Hughes too.
Hughes too as well, right?
Damn right. He avenged both his losses, GSP. So,
yeah,
you never saw him lose and then not get revenge with GSP. Jon Jones, we haven't seen him lose. Khabib, you never saw him lose. And you talk about GSP and Khabib as the greatest ever, and people are not talking about Anderson Silva as much in that conversation, and that's because we saw him lose a bunch at the end, and there was like steroid accusations and whatever. But if Jon Jones goes out still undefeated, but if he loses to Tom Aspinall, who's to say he doesn't chase it and like come back and do a rematch with Tom Aspinall and lose again, and then maybe take another, who knows where that leads. It's just, I don't know. He's got an opportunity now to kind of leave the legacy intact, step away. Like, if somebody offered me $15 million to fight Tom Aspinall, I would definitely take it, knowing I would possibly die.
Probably die.
But, I could tap before I die. If I just, pull guard.
I hope the ref can stop it before you start seeing, the light.
Just no strikes. I'm just hoping he doesn't punch me when I, go for a leg lock. And if he does, I just, pretend I got knocked out. I'm throwing the fight, basically, for $15 million. But it's going to be difficult.
Kinda
it's going to be painful
Tyson.
in the process. And it's going to take some pain. But I'll still take it. So my point is, the fact that Jon Jones is willing to say, nah, to $15 million means he's probably got some money.
Yeah.
If he's not taking the fight, he doesn't need the money. So you go, okay, he's got this gigantic house that he's showing off on Instagram. He doesn't need the money. He's good. He's doing seminars and TV shows. Like, the business of Jon Jones is very good right now. So, why do this? Why do this? If he's willing to pass on the money, I don't know. And the Aspinall fight clearly, he's clearly not interested in that Aspinall fight. And this has been my stance the whole time. Why? Why? When you could leave the legacy good. Because, yeah, there's a chance that Aspinall beats him, of course. From the perspective of Jon Jones, he's got to know there's a chance Aspinall beats him. Aspinall's good. Jones has never said Aspinall's not good. He just says, he needs to do more and prove himself to really, if Jones is going to lose to one guy, that guy better be one of the greatest ever. And I don't think Jones is convinced that Aspinall is the greatest ever. He's just the guy in this spot. for example, AJ,
Mhm.
we talk about Anderson Silva with, great reverence, and we remember him as amazing. We do not talk that way about Chris Weidman. And he beat Anderson's ass 2 times. He ended the streak. But
Broke
he's
his
not
leg.
remembered as much other than the guy that beat Anderson and a transitional champion to, like, a bunch of guys like Rockhold and Bisping and then GSP and then, whatever happened there.
I mean, he was very relevant when he was
at the time, but
at
like
the time, but I'm just saying,
legacy-wise,
before-
over time, history
absolutely.
of MMA, history of the sport, how people treat you, your value when your career is done as a commodity,
you're
as
right.
a personality. Like Anderson Silva is still that dude. So yeah, Weidman was the guy at the time to beat Anderson. Just like I think Aspinall might be the guy at this time to beat Jon Jones. Doesn't mean much other than he's the right guy at the right time. And I think Jon Jones feels that way. I think Jon Jones looks at him as like, he might be my Chris Weidman. And maybe I don't want a Chris Weidman. Maybe I'm looking for another great fighter to take. If it's really going to be a put it all on the line type of fight, I want it to be against a guy who will also have like a great legacy where it's like, ooh, who did Jon Jones lose to? The one guy, oh, it was the great Alex Pereira who was on this great streak, and what a guy, like it's got to be a fight where it's worth it. It was Francis Ngannou who went to boxing, who was a linear champion in the UFC and all, like Aspinall doesn't have the resume. He is unproven. He's very good. You look at him fight, you're like, damn, this guy's very skilled, very talented, but that doesn't always add up to a legendary MMA career. So, build yourself up a little bit, and maybe in a year or two, Jones will say, okay, this guy's worthy. But, I get Jon Jones' perspective. I really get it. He's been around this sport a long time, and he knows how people are remembered.
Well, it's kind of like when you think about guys that we know about, like a Randy Couture. Like Randy Couture was a 3-time champion, man. The guy was a legend of the game. The guy was amazing, but he's sometimes not brought up as much as some of the names you've mentioned. You can go
the
as far
UFC
back
does a
as
good
like
job
Royce.
of that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing, but there's been so many great champions. I look back all the way to Royce Gracie, who like really paved the way for the UFC, and he did a lot with what they were doing back then. That round robin like craziness. These guys are legends, but do they match up to a Jon Jones? No. But they were making the same money that Jon Jones. I mean, I remember Royce Gracie, his first pay was like, I think it was like $50,000. I think they made from winning like UFC 1, 2, and whatever. UFC 1 was 50 grand, Look, Jon Jones has the capability to walk away from 15 million right now. So, either he's trying to hardball or he really doesn't need the money. But if that's the case, then you got to be clear and say, you know what, guys, thank you very much. I'm not worried about fighting Aspinall. I think my days are done and I want to walk away from this sport so that everybody's clear and it makes room for like Aspinall, to be fighting other like developing heavyweights that we've seen in that division that have had no like marketing yet. But there's some guys in that heavyweight division coming up, those prospects, which are super dangerous. And we're going to be talking about them in the years to come.
Yeah, I'd like to
Jon
get
Jones
those
has to
fights.
make it clear.
Like, let's get on with it. I want to see Aspinall fight. I never thought the Jon Jones fight would materialize, and I would like to just see the fight happen. Like, could we just get Aspinall fighting? I don't care who he fights. Fight Jailton Almeida. Fight Cyril Gane. Fight anybody in the top 10 at heavyweight. What are we waiting for? Like, the UFC just won't give up this Jon Jones idea. I don't think it's going to happen. You need to move on and strip him of the title. And just say, thank you for the great memories, Jon Jones. If you ever feel like coming out of retirement, give us a call, and we'd be happy to offer you tons of money to take a fight. I think that's just where we're at here, and when we need to get there. The UFC needs to get on with it. Let me see Tom Aspinall fight Cyril Gane already. Stop the bullshit. Okay, we're going to see a fight this weekend, AJ. We're going to watch UFC Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgia. Always on my mind.
Kamaru Usman, 38 years old, has lost 3 in a row, including his title loss when he lost the welterweight championship to Leon Edwards by knockout in a fight he was winning. And then he came back just about 8 months later, and fought Leon again, and he lost a majority decision in a close fight. And then he came back and fought Khamzat Chimaev. I think it was on short notice, right? That was on short notice at middleweight, and he lost a majority decision in a pretty close fight. Like, Usman looked good. He's lost 3 fights in a row, but in all of those fights you go, yeah, he was doing pretty well in those fights. He was not, completely outmatched. The Edwards fights were close, and the Khamzat fight was interesting. Usman is still very dangerous. It's just he's been so inactive. He hasn't fought since October 2023.
Been a while, man.
Yeah. I'm not really sure why.
It's true. When you think about it, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. What has he been hurt? Or I don't know why he hasn't fought in so long.
Excuse me.
But maybe he just
38
wanted
years
to
old, man.
Figure things out. Yeah, he's 38.
And you go up against Buckley, who's like, he's on a 6-fight winning streak. 31 years old, man.
He's more active too. Buckley, he last fought in December of last year.
He's a beast, man.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Every time we look at Buckley, like, we are always impressed more and more. Every fight he does, you're like, holy shit, this guy he's real, man. He's coming. And you can see that. I mean, like, this is a big name for Buckley. He needs to beat an Usman to get that 7th win. And, unfortunately, Usman is right there. I mean, it's hard, man. He's 38 years old. There's a lot of wear and tear on him. Is he going to have the stamina to keep up with, like, that physical specimen of a Buckley who has just, like, endless energy? The pressure that he puts, he's always grinding forward, man. He's got crazy knockout power. It's going to be I think, a bad night for Usman. I mean, we could be totally wrong. Like, we've been, many times, but,
What do you say? What's this we stuff? I didn't pick. I'm not saying Buckley. I don't know about that. Take it easy.
Come on, Dave.
I don't know.
I know you're going Buckley, man, because
I don't think so.
Just look at all his last fights, man.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting?
Nobody. He's fighting Colby Covington. What? He sucks.
Who are you talking about? You're talking about
Buckley, man. Buckley's last fight was against Colby Covington. Who sucks?
Yeah, but Colby's
terrible, man. You see what Usman did to Colby? Smashed him when he was, like, relevant. I don't know, man. Buckley's resume seems a little inflated. He beat Vicente Luque, who just lost to Kevin Holland there. Stephen Wonderboy, he beat him when he was super old. Colby Covington, super old. Like, I'm not fully convinced. And Kamaru Usman is still Kamaru Usman. Buckley is pretty good, but this is a 5-round fight. Buckley's lost a couple fights in the UFC. I think this is a fight that is winnable for Kamaru Usman. It just depends on, what version we see. I think if it's the version that came out against Leon Edwards, Kamaru wins this fight. I don't think Kamaru's getting knocked out again. Buckley's going to have to beat him on points, and that's not going to be easy. Usman is a former world champion.
Yeah, but he has to go 5 rounds. Can he really grind it out for 5 rounds? The only way he's going to be able to control this is if he clinches and wrestles Buckley. But he's going to get caught in that pocket, and Buckley has ridiculous knockout power. And that's the problem. The more it goes into, like, those third, fourth, fifth rounds, man, it's going to be hard for Usman.
I disagree. I think it's going to be harder for Buckley the more it goes on. I think that knockout power is going to be there and be dangerous in the first couple of rounds, and then as Usman puts the pressure, it's going to slow down, and Usman's going to take over because he's used to those 5-round fights. He's used to that grinding style. He's a wrestler. Don't forget, this is wrestling style. This is what he's going to do. He's going to grind out Buckley. He's going to put him on his back, and he's going to ground and pound. I've got Kamaru Usman in this fight. I've got Kamaru Usman coming back, winning in decision, shocking everybody, shutting up the haters. Usman plus 200 right now. Joaquin Buckley minus 270. I think Kamaru comes back strong. I think a lot of people are counting him out because of the age, because of the layoff. But I would not count him out. Buckley, I think, is like overlooking Usman a little bit too. He's been talking about how, oh, it's not fair that Islam is getting a title shot against Jack Della. Like, I could be getting a title shot instead. And it's like, you're fighting Kamaru Usman right now. You better focus. You better pay attention to Kamaru Usman because he's, he's pretty good. So I've got Usman in the fight, AJ. I'm going with the former champion. I still got respect for the old guys.
Yeah,
I
no,
say
for
old
sure,
guys,
man.
and
Former
he's
champions.
actually younger than me, which is sad now. I'm older than the old guys in the UFC. It used to not happen.
You gotta
But
lie, bud.
time.
Lie your age, like Dana. Listen, I'm gonna just say one thing. You're right, but let's not forget he was the former champion. He was like one of the greatest fighters out there. But his time kind of slipped. He hasn't been looking that great, and he's going up against a freaking beast of a Buckley who's really active. He's got everything to put Usman away. And you're right. It's hard for me to go against Usman. I would have never went against Usman, but this is a much older Usman, a much worn and torn Usman, and a guy who's been off for quite a bit of time. Even on his last fight, the fight that he had prior to that was a while. So that's what I'm saying is that lack of fighting, like maybe he's just fighting now for the money, more than anything. Buckley is fighting because he wants the belt. That's the difference. So it's going to be hard for me to go against Usman, but knowing Buckley and what he's done, 6-fight winning streak, the guy is coming to take that belt.
Maybe he is.
Hunger, bud.
Maybe
It's that
he
hunger.
isn't. Co-main event, Rose Namajunas against Miranda Maverick. Thug Rose coming in minus 260 the favorite. Miranda Maverick plus 195 the underdog.
This is where wrestling counts, bud. This is going to be where wrestling counts. And Rose, man, she's been through the ringer in her life, in her career. There's one point where nobody went against Rose, so she would come in. But ever since she got dropped on her head, that time, her neck and that injury, she's never been the same again. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like she has a fear getting into the octagon. And the last thing she wants to do is to go up against a wrestler. Every time she goes up against a wrestler, it brings back that nightmare, man. It's the PTSD of being dropped on your head. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Maverick is going to go with that whole wrestling game and overwhelm her. She's going to drag her to that down to the mat, and I think she's going to come out with the win.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Rose, she's been up and down. I think she's going to take this fight, but Miranda Maverick is on a solid win streak. Let's do parlays for this, AJ. I'm going to give you something.
Give me something, bud. Give me something. Give me a parlay, bud.
Let's give you... I really have nothing here for this card. It's not a bad fight night. It's not at the Apex.
No, it's not.
Cody
For a fight night,
Garbrandt,
it's
Ronnie
very good,
Barcelos on this one.
Shabayazan is there, man. Petrosky is there. Cody Garbrandt is there.
I just said that.
Did you?
That's what I just said. That's what I just said.
That's what she said.
Cody Garbrandt, plus 160. Barcelos minus 210. I'm going to start there with Ronnie Barcelos over Cody Garbrandt. I also like...
Man, it's a really good prelim card, too, when you think about it. Did you see the prelim?
Paul Craig, Rodolfo
nice.
Bellato.
He is against Court McGee.
Yeah, Michael Chiesa and Court McGee.
Your cousin is there as well,
Chiesa
fighting?
in that fight. I
Yeah,
think
Charles
Chiesa-
Jourdain was supposed to be in this fight. That's, unfortunately, he had to have a little surgery, so he couldn't be in this fight. Or else it would have been your cousin Ricky Simon versus Charles Jourdain from Montreal. Too
No,
bad. I would
kicked
have liked
him
to
out
see
of the
Charles
family.
fight. Ricky's out.
Yeah, he
He's
lost
back
a
out
fight
again.
and I kicked him out. I think.
Now he's
Is he back
he's
in?
not a he's a Simon.
What the
Simon.
hell? I'll give you a 3-5 parlay. Let's go crazy.
Give it to me. Give it to me one more time.
I am giving you this. It is Rowney Barcelos minus 210 over Cody Garbrandt. It's Michael Chiesa minus 350 over Court McGee. And it's Kamaru Usman plus 200 over Joaquin Buckley. 20 will get you an amount of money over at bet99.com. How much? No one knows.
Let's see. Show
113.88.
me the money, baby. That's a nice payout. Nice.
Yep. Pretty good. Usman,
You take a look
Chiesa,
at that again.
Barcelos.
Barcelos over.
Over Garbrandt. What do you got? You got a parlay for me?
Yeah, man. Let's start off from the top. So you know that I'm going with Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah.
When you got a cough, use Buckley. And then again, like I said, wrestling is gonna, be the nightmare for Rose once again. So I'm going with Maverick. That whole Edmund fight and Petrosky. I mean, I'm always like, every time it comes to Edmund, I'm a little worried. So I'm gonna stay away from that one.
I like Petrosky in that fight.
Do you?
Oh, yeah, big time. I think Petrosky smashes him. I've got Petrosky. He's for sure winning that fight. He's an underdog plus 140.
Yeah,
I
but
should've
if
put him
Edmund,
on my parlay.
see, the thing is that if Edmund comes in heavy from the beginning, he's dangerous in the first round, second round.
Nah.
He's got to he's dangerous. And if you're able to control him and clinch him, just neutralize this guy, you're going to win it. So that's where Petrosky could win. But I don't want to take that chance because if Edmund comes in hard, he could win it. So he's dangerous. He's always dangerous, this guy.
All right, what else?
Yeah, baby. So then I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Bellato as well. I don't like going with prelims off of the main card, but I'm keeping it simple this time. I want people to win. See.
Rodolfo Bellato. Is that it? 3-fight
Gelato.
parlay?
That's it, baby. 3 fights this time.
You're
AJ
going
wants
with
to
the
make some money.
Gelato parlay. There's
I'm
AJ's
going with
parlay.
Gelato.
It's keeping
I'm going
it
with
simple.
Buckley. You see what?
Bellato,
you see the
Maverick,
correlation there?
Buckley. 20 gets you
And the Maverick.
99.88 over at bet99.com. There you go. It's not bad. Team AJ
much?
parlay.
I didn't see that.
99.88.
Bet 99. There's
I know.
something there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's the number 99 2 times, so there's something.
Something, man.
Shout out to Angelo Contagonis. Shout out to Patrick C. Hamilton. And everybody watching, all the members. Leor in the chat as well.
Leor!
Everybody supporting
DJ's
over at
in the house.
join.ringsidereport.net, membership.ringsidereport.net. I see you, Big Cheese, Bob Burger. I see Woods MMA,
Big
Miss
Cheese.
Brooklyn, Helium.
Miss Brooklyn.
Johnny North, I see.
Big Johnny, man.
Chris
He's fighting soon
Dopsy.
again.
Everybody in the chat. Simon Feck,
Cryptopsy.
DJ Bourne. Everybody.
Angelo.
Everybody
the
now.
great Angelo.
Angelo.
AJ in the
my
house,
man.
right? That's it, Angelo, man. AJ's in the house. Where's AI AJ? What? Logan? What'd you say? The Grand Prix is coming to
No.
what? Logan Paul?
Okay, I'll be back tomorrow
Logan
night
Paul?
with Johnny North. We're going to talk about pro wrestling.
Come on, Logan. AJ.
Wrestling Uncensored.
AI,
Oh, no,
AJ?
wait. Johnny North isn't on the show tomorrow.
What? What happened to Johnny?
He's somewhere. So
Where?
I think it'll be the Simon Brothers Super Show.
The
tomorrow.
latest? He's at the Grand Prix.
It's
That's
the
where Johnny
Super
is.
Simon Brothers Super Show. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Uncle Ben.
Hey,
Yeah,
Dave,
he's-
here's my parlay. On the prelims,
Here we-
I pick every underdog to win.
That's right.
Don't
That's
you
right.
think we should go as Mario and Luigi for Halloween? Don't you think we look like Mario and Luigi, like giving
Actually,
our
you
body
know what?
types and
That would actually, yeah, that would be
And
great, man.
I'm very much Mario. He's very much the Luigi. You know, we're the brothers. He's like
Well, he's
tall
got
and
the stash
lanky.
and
I'm
everything.
kind of short and thick, like Mario. Mario's so thick, so beautiful.
What's the matter with you?
Hey, mamma mia.
What's the matter with you, David Seymour?
All right, so I'm gonna go play Mario Kart. All this Mario talk has got me excited for Mario. All right, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow
Angelo!
for some wrestling talk, right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. Please share this episode on whichever social media platform you use. Add a comment below and consider reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net